And as the biggest fight of his career approaches, both husband and wife know just how important the results of July 26th will be.
Él sabe que dependiendo de esta pelea está su futuro, nuestro futuro también, no nada más el de él.
Sí estoy ansioso porque se haga esta pelea ya porque pues es mi consagración, ganándole a Cotto va a cambiar todo, ¿no? Tanto pues que había pedido una pelea de esta magnitud, pues ahora que se realizó tengo que aprovecharla.
Miguel Cotto is more than willing to match his foe's determination, enduring a punishing routine each day as the Margarito fight approaches.
Generally wake up about 4:30, be at the track by 5, do our run. By mid-afternoon we do his boxing workouts, and then 3 days of the week after that we'll come over here and do our strength stuff.
I'm going to be prepared for anything Margarito can bring me this night.
In his days as a 140-pound champion, training camp was often used only to make weight, rather than prepare for his opponent.
Cotto clearly should not have been a junior welterweight towards the end. It seemed obvious that the weight loss in order to make 140 was hurting him.
Era bien dificultoso, o sea, él entrenaba para hacer el peso y no dejaba nada para lo de la pelea.
His struggles with weight led to problems in the ring. In 2005, he was wobbled by DeMarcus Corley.
Like a huge wobble. Corley has hurt Cotto. Miguel Cotto's in trouble and is holding on.
And months later, he was knocked down for the first time against Ricardo Torres.
And down goes Miguel Cotto.
Ultimately, Cotto was victorious in both fights.
Miguel Cotto survives a life and death challenge.
But he heeded the warning signs, and in 2006 moved up to the welterweight division. Conditioning coach Phil Landman was then brought into camp with a clear mission: make Cotto into a 147-pound champion.
140 is not his natural weight. 147, I say, is a lot more natural for him. We come into the weight very easily at 147. To get down to 140, he was absolutely starving and dehydrating himself to get to that weight.
In his 147-pound debut, he destroyed Carlos Quintana and captured a title. Miguel Cotto had arrived in the welterweight division.
He's like, I'm here to make noise. You know, you're going to have to deal with me. And he went out there and he took a very, very quality opponent and just laid waste to him.
2007 would be Cotto's most impressive year yet. In June, he knocked out former champion Zab Judah in front of a sold-out crowd at Madison Square Garden.
Just an absolutely electric night. And again, Cotto took apart a really quality opponent.
You really saw where a fighter, even of Zab's level, which is quite high, is completely out of his depth when confronted with a fighter as well-rounded as Miguel Cotto.
Cotto followed that victory up 5 months later with the biggest win of his career over future Hall of Famer and 3-time world champion Shane Mosley.
The biggest thing, in my opinion, was late in the fight. He was actually the one that was outboxing Mosley.
Cotto showing some versatility we've yet to see from him in his professional career.
Basically doing the sort of things that have made Mosley such a top boxer for so long.
After watching him win a close but clear decision against Shane Mosley, you had to think to yourself, exactly how do you beat Miguel Cotto?
Miguel Cotto, desde que firmó la pelea, pues ya está metido y ya cuando sea el día 26 de julio, cuando estemos arriba del ring, se va a meter con el mejor.
For Margarito, this is everything he's wanted. You know, him and his handlers talked about him being the most avoided fighter in the world.
If you're somebody who wants to minimize risk, you don't fight Antonio Margarito. Shane Mosley is first ballot Hall of Famer. Floyd Mayweather, arguably the #1 fighter, pound for pound. Both these guys turned down fights with Antonio Margarito.
Here were two of the best fighters in the world, and they seemed to be saying, not that guy.
Margarito no es un títere o un juego arriba de un ring, porque aquí no va a haber juego. De que no me toques porque se me cae el maquillaje. No, no, señor. Este es pelear aquí.
Last year, it looked like Margarito would finally get his chance against one of the world's best. But his first opportunity to fight Miguel Cotto was derailed when Margarito chose to fight his mandatory challenger Paul Williams or be stripped of his welterweight title.
Yo hice eso porque a mí me costó mucho en agarrar el título mundial y yo no lo iba a dejar en la mesa.
Paul Williams, 6'2" at least, a southpaw. He's undefeated. The kind of guy you don't fight when you have $1 million fight against a bona fide star in Miguel Cotto.
Hard left hand inside by Williams. Big left hand snaps Margarito's head back.
If Margarito loses, his date with Miguel Cotto goes down the drain.
He started too slowly, didn't really get it cranked up until the middle rounds.
Margarito lands two searing straight right hands. Margarito thinks he's done some damage.
But it was too little too late, and he lost that fight. And really, he was in danger of being brushed to the side. I mean, he was almost journeyman status.
4 months later, Margarito showed he quickly learned a lesson from the loss to Williams.
Margarito said after the Williams fight, I have to start faster. And sure enough, Golden Johnson fight, I think he started fast enough, 1-round blitzkrieg.
That was followed by the April 12th demolition of Kermit Cintron.
Margarito may have just punched his way back into the picture. What a show!
Now, Margarito's rise from despair and then tragedy is nearly complete as the fight he's waited for his entire career approaches.
Cuando me hice profesional era un niño, tenía la edad de 15 años. Volteo para atrás y todo el sacrificio que me ha costado llegar hasta este momento y derrotando a Miguel Cotto, Antonio Margarito crece.
This guy is special. This is a guy who's never going to quit. This is a guy who is going to give anybody hell because of his attitude and because of how hard he works on fight night.
An empty boxing ring offers infinite possibilities. On July 26th, boxing will welcome those long-awaited possibilities to this ring in Las Vegas. There, two of the sport's most feared and fearless fighters will renew their nation's storied boxing rivalry and do battle in one of the most highly anticipated bouts of the year.
A victory over Antonio Margarito makes Cotto a strong contender for #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
This is no doubt the biggest fight of Antonio Margarito's career.
I wouldn't want to be Cotto. I would not want to be the guy in with Margarito on the night that Margarito feels like he has finally arrived.
The game plan for Miguel Cotto is not to get too macho. He has to show that ring intelligence.
He'll be the boxer, but he ain't running. You know, Cotto's right there.
The game plan for Antonio Margarito, just be Antonio Margarito. Be a tornado.
Keep on trucking. No matter what's happening, keep touching Cotto, keep your hands moving.
These are guys who are willing to get hit for the opportunity to hit you back. Every punch that is thrown in this fight will be thrown with the intent of sheer mayhem.
You can make one fight in boxing and only one. I would say Cotto Margarito. This is the best fight that can be made.
Live July 26th